Satnam. I want to see if I can change your mind a little bit about what you think of as yoga and the reasons that you do it. For me, yoga brings me a sense of steadiness. It brings me a resiliency in my body, and it brings a control to the thoughts that I have. We may be bombarded by our thoughts, but we all have the ability to be able to get rid of what we don't want. We don't have to listen to every single little thing that comes in, nor do we have to repeat over and over and over and over again in our mind things that do not elevate us. It's so easy for us to just keep listening to our thoughts and just let those thoughts take us down or take us this way, or this person was mean to me all those years ago and can't let it go, and it festers in you, and that festering in you creates chemical changes, physical chemical changes. And those physical chemical changes do not do well for your body long term. Think about somebody who has, like, let's say, acid reflux. Acid reflux is that gurgling up, right? It is this top of the stomach, this esophageal sphincter muscle that just won't close all the way. Acid gets in there, it irritates it, it comes up, we get reflux, we get GERD, all of this stuff. That's a physical reaction of digestion. Well, what is it in your life that has happened that you're not able to digest it? So many people are having problems with digestion. In yoga, there's something called the mind gut. The mind gut. And Yogi Bhajan would often talk about, you think that the brain dictates your actions. He's like, no, that's not how it works. It is your gut. Your gut dictates what you do. Ask a child. Child has that visceral understanding of what's right or what's wrong without ever knowing. They know because they get this sensation. Children are great that way because what they've learned, or haven't learned yet, more importantly, is to be able to manipulate. And I mean little kids, because they learn pretty quick. But when you're not able to discern what's going on except for one thing where you feel it down here, you just know. Kids know when somebody's sketchy. You don't have to ask the kid, is this person sketchy? Kid knows. Just, no, I don't think so. There's that visceral reaction. And we've lost that because we intellectualize everything. Because we intellectualize everything, we think we know better. Well, now we start having all of these body reactions and things just don't go our way because we're starting to go downhill, sideways, whatever you want to call it, in our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body. So what yoga helps to do is it helps to build your sense of self. Build your sense of self. So when I say I'm hoping to change your mind, I want you to understand that yoga is not, it's not a practice per se in trying to get flexible. It's not a practice in which you should try and just look good in your Lululemon. It's got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with being centered, with being resilient. So a very resilient body and a very centered mind. Can you think of a time in history where we've needed this more than now? With the resiliency, you need a very strong body. I saw one town, they say that they're giving people exercise equipment because they want them to lose weight, because they're saying that the coronavirus is damaging on people's weights if it's elevated. People who have, some sort of another health issue, whether it's diabetes or high blood pressure or you name it, all of these things are detrimental towards the coronavirus having a strongly negative effect on your body. So we practice yoga because it gives us a strong, resilient body by pressurizing the nerves and the glands. Those two systems give us the ability to, kind of block off everything that kind of comes our way. But I want you to keep in mind, it's not how flexible you become. It has so much more to do with taking your practice of yoga, which is why we call it a practice, because the practice of yoga is what you take with you into your life, because it is in your life is where the actual yoga starts. Keep this in mind. Yoga is not something to do. Yoga is something to become. Do you become more resilient? Do you become more patient? Do you become more tolerant? Do you become more friendly? Do you become more knowledgeable? Bring this, share these experiences with everybody that it is that's around you. This is yoga. Being able to be centered, being able to be calm when there's chaos all around you. When things are not going your way, can you be just as grateful for when they are going your way? Because sometimes when things aren't going your way, something is trying to tell you that it's not working. Generally in my life, when there's been an ease, not that things have been easy, but when there's been an ease of movement, moving from one direction to another, that generally means that I'm going the right way. When I keep bumping up against something, something is trying to tell me to say, hey, time out. Take a step back, see what's going on, because you maybe need to reassess the situation. So Kundalini Yoga seeks this out of an individual. Your curiosity wants the curious. So the people who are looking for a shift, looking for something different in their life, looking to make change, curious. It seeks the people who are open-minded. People who are open-minded are people that are not stuck in some kind of a dogma. Well, I only do this kind of yoga, or I only do this kind of exercise, or I only do this, this, and that. No dogma. Open-minded. And lastly, it seeks the willing. Because those first two mean absolutely nothing if you don't do the last. And the last is the doing. So the willing has to be the doing. You've got to be prepared to do. So be curious, be open-minded, and be prepared, willing to do. And that's what these meditations and these kriyas that I've been doing for you, sharing with you, so that you can see them, do them, practice them, share them with other people, is so that you can make that internal shift. So that you're not stuck into any kind of a dogma, that you can keep an open mind. And so that you prepared to do, to bring it into action. And when you can do that, your life will start to shift, and you will see. It's almost like magic. You will become resilient in your body. You will become controlled in your thoughts. All that's left now, watch some videos, practice some meditations, do your best effort, and wait. Kundalini Yoga is renowned as the yoga of experience. So all the talking in the world is gonna do nothing for you except get you motivated to do, to experience. Don't worry about what somebody else's experience is like. Go have your own. Go write your own story. You have a beautiful story to write, each and every one of us. We're here for a purpose. Figure out yours. Go and do it. As always, I wish you well. Sat Nam.